Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center and Guru Tegh Bahadur College, Khalsa College, University of New Delhi, for granting us permission. I thank Ministry of Education for this, and being very important topic and very good response we got from all delegates. I welcome all of them, and without wasting more time, let me introduce our chief guest and the chief guest of inaugural function, Honorable A.K. Bakhshi sir, who has been founding chancellor of PMD University, Bahadurgarh of Haryana. He has also been executive director of Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius, and he was awarded with various awards. Professor Bakhshi is also presently chairman of National Resource Center of Chemistry of Government of India and Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MOE located in HTTP Khalsa College, University of Delhi. Honorable Professor Bakhshi has also been member of Standing Committee of National Mission on Education through ICT of Government of India. He is chairman of National Science Digital Library and projects of CSIR in both chemistry and polymer science. He was also chairman of Content Advisory Committee of Chemistry of Sakshit Portal of MHRD Government of India. He is a double gold medalist and a PhD of Delhi of University. Dr. Bakhshi did his postdoctoral training at the University of Ireland, Nuremberg in Germany with Professor J. Leddick and all Kyoto University and the Institute of Fundamental Chemistry, Kyoto, Japan, with the Professor Kuki and Nobel laureate Professor T. Wayambe. He has also been a visiting scientist at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, and Indian Institute of Science. Professor Bakhshi research interest includes theoretical polymer chemistry with special reference to electrical computing polymers and biopolymers. But Honorable Bakhshi sir is the author and co-author of more than 180 research papers and co-author of 51 e-books and books for PG chemistry courses and ARPIC program of MHRD. Many students have obtained their PhD and MPhil under his guidance. He has, just a minute. He has also been member of National Writing Team for Chemistry Class XI and XII books of NCERT. Professor Bakhshi has been recipient of several awards. The list is very big. I am not be able to read all the awards. There is a huge list for that. I just welcome Honorable Bakhshi sir and make one mention that he has been a member of various professional academic bodies, committees of MHRD, UGC, NAC, DST, CBSE, NCERT, various universities and colleges. Last but not the least, Professor Bakhshi has also the distinction of being one of the first person from the universities in India to have been selected as member scientist of the third Indian research expedition of Antarctica in 1984. This expedition built India's permanent base of Dakshin Gangotri in Antarctica. With this brief bio, I request Honorable Bakhshi sir to have inauguration and his keynote address. Honorable Bakhshi sir. I request Honorable Bakhshi sir to continue.
Okay. Am I audible, please?
Please continue.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody, and it's indeed a great pleasure and an honor to be a part of this inaugural event. And I thank the organizers for extending this invitation to me to deliver this keynote address at the 1-week faculty development program which is being organized today and which is in collaboration with Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of the Ministry of Education And I would like to extend my greetings to all dignitaries present on the occasion, including Dr. Nimpor, Principal of the College, Professor Vimal Rar, Joint Director, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, and
Excuse me, I request all the participants to mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Please continue.
Sir, please on your mic, sir.
Bakhshi sir, your mic is muted.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
Yes.
you know, as you all know that this is a program being conducted under Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching. You know, this is a scheme of the central government. The focus of this scheme is to empower teachers so that they are able to do well in academics and in imparting quality education to the students. So it's in that context, this faculty development program has to be viewed, because the role of the teacher under new education policy is going to change significantly. So now the question comes, what are going to be the challenges before the teachers? How they need to change themselves, how they need to be empowered if they have to excel in higher education in this country. So keeping all those things in mind, I am delivering this talk. And before I start my talk, let me share my screen first. Is my screen visible? Would you please confirm it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then I can go to the starting then. Now, please confirm it. Is my screen visible and am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So as you can see, the title of my talk is that in the light of National Education Policy 2020, how do we empower our teachers for quality higher education in India in the 21st century? We will talk about challenges and opportunities. And as you can see here, challenges are nothing else but opportunities in disguise. So all these challenges have to be viewed from that perspective. Let me tell you at the very beginning that this is a motivational talk for the teachers who are attending this program, which is aimed at empowering higher education teachers to enable them to succeed and thrive in the 21st century. And as you will see, it can prove to be a game changer for all of you. If you follow what is being told, it can change the way you work. And please note that this talk is based on my conceptualization and experience. And won't be wrong if I say that it will prepare you for life. You know, the basic philosophy behind this talk is give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So that's basically the thinking behind this talk. And why I am focusing on empowering teachers? Because the quality of an education system can never exceed the quality of its teachers. So if you want to enhance the quality of an education system, you must raise the competence level of the teachers. Without that, it's not possible. And once teachers are empowered, they will empower the students in turn. So let's empower teachers to support student learning. Please remember that our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children. India is one of the youngest nations of the world. 50% population of India is less than 25 years. 65% is less than 35 years. So it's a very big advantage for India. And we need to ready these children for future. And to a great extent, the responsibility rests with you, the teachers. Please remember, students may be 25% of our population, but they are then 100% of our future. And a child miseducated is a child lost. So we can't afford to lose even a single child. So we have to take care of the education aspect. Coming now to the traditional roles of a teacher in higher education. You all know that the main roles of a teacher in higher education are generally three. One is to disseminate knowledge, that is teaching. Second is to create knowledge, that is research and also guide research. And the third is academic administration and management. And then a teacher is expected to excel in all the three roles. Now, you know, if you want to be an outstanding teacher or a researcher in any subject you may be, you should have a very sound and deep knowledge of your discipline. You should be very proficient in the practical skills wherever required. You should have clarity of concepts, and your teaching should reflect the amount of thinking you have done on the subject. It's not very easy, but then you should work for this. And then you should have the passion to become great teacher. Because please remember, nothing great in this world has ever been achieved without passion. So you should have that passion. And if you want to be an outstanding researcher, you need to be an out-of-box thinker. You should be innovative and creative. You should have an analytical mind. And then 4 C's, as I have written here: curiosity, creativity, courage, and commitment. These are the 4 things you should have. And all this cannot come in one day. This is a habit which needs to be nurtured in you. This is a habit which we need to nurture in our students from school days onwards. And then, for both an outstanding teacher or a researcher, you need to have excellent communication and presentation skills. This is very, very important, because no one will really take the pains to listen to your ideas until and unless your communication is effective and impressive. So this is something very, very important. And please remember, all the great speakers were bad speakers at first. So you need to really work hard. Having said all that, now I will come down to what are going to be the challenges in the 21st century, especially in the light of National Education Policy 2020. Because these are the challenges you have to face. First, let's take up the challenges of the present information age. We are all living in an information age where getting any information is just possible by a click of mouse. Now, this is an age of uncertainty. What do you mean by the age of uncertainty? There is a future of jobs report published by the World Economic Forum, according to which 65% of the children entering primary school right now, that means in 2019, will be working in jobs that don't even exist right now. So you are living in an age where you do not know where your students will be tomorrow employed. There is a lot of uncertainty. Then this is also an age of artificial intelligence. This is an age where the artificial intelligence will equal the intelligence of the students by the time they finish education. That means if I can have machines with the same intelligence as you, then why do I need you? So this is going to be another challenge. And all those jobs which are repetitive, are of predictable nature, or which require no critical thinking, no critical analysis, no research base, or no specialization, all those jobs are going to be in danger in future due to either artificial intelligence, automation, or robotics. So this is another thing you have to keep it in mind. And the third is that this is also an age of mass education. This is an age where more students over the next 30 years will graduate than since the beginning of the recorded history. That means more and more students are coming in higher education. But the traditional jobs will be very few and takers would be many. So there is going to be a very tough competition in the years to come. So this is something you have to keep it in mind. So your challenge as a teacher is now going to be how to teach the child to succeed in a future that is so uncertain. So this is something you have to keep it in mind. Second challenge is you have to understand what are going to be the 21st century learning needs. What after all a student needs if one wants to excel. You know, it is said that in the 21st century, if you want to excel, you need two things. One is rigorous academic content. That means you should be very, very good in your subject. Academically very sound, discipline-wise. And the second is the 21st century skills. These two taken together will constitute what is called deeper learning. And you know, these are a must for a student in order to succeed in this 21st century. You may ask the question, what are 21st century skills? You know, these are a set of abilities which students need to possess in order to succeed in this age. 21st century skills come under three categories. One is learning skills, which include critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication. And the second is the literacy skills, which include information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. And the third is life skills, that is flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So these 12 skills constitute what is known as 21st century skills. And you know, these are going to be the deciding factor in this 21st century. You may ask the question, why suddenly these skills have become so important? The answer is, you cannot have machines with these skills. So here, humans can beat machines. You can't have a machine which is critically thinking or which is creative, or a machine which has leadership quality. So all those individuals who will possess these 21st century skills, they will be able to outsmart others. You know, you will all agree that skill development continues to be a major concern in India. Of course, we have the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. But the need for skilled workforce is increasing day by day. There is a report according to which, you know, there is going to be a shortfall of over 4 million high-skilled workers in the world by 2024. That means there will be so much demand, but are we really prepared for that? So this is going to be a big challenge for the teachers, because you know, teaching profession is ultimately creates all other professions. So you have to be aware of all this. And it's mainly because of these skill set that there are many companies which are hiring people without degrees, provided they have these skill sets. Google, Starbucks, EY, IBM, Bank of America, Apple, etc. They have been hiring people. Now, with all this 21st century education concept, even the concept of success is changing. There is a new concept of success. Success has a different meaning now than what it had in the past. Successful people in the 21st century will be those who, create their own jobs rather than working in the traditional job market. That means that concept of jobs for life, that will be over very soon. You will not be having permanent jobs or jobs for life. No, things are going to change very, very fast. Successful people will choose their own hours, own office, live and work anywhere in the world, and work with peers across the globe. And in any job you may be, the way the things are changing, upskilling and reskilling will become an absolute necessity. So you have to keep on upskilling yourself and reskilling. That means lifelong learning is the key to future careers. So you have to keep on learning. It's not that my education is over now, I don't need. No, that will not work. And then, successful people will change on what they are working up to keep up with their interests and abilities. And if they don't like something, they will outsource that. They will travel as much as they want. There will be nothing like a fixed scale and increment. They can enjoy an earning potential which is not capped by a salary figure. You can earn as much as you work. So you can see how the things are changing in this era. And therefore, there is a need for acquiring competence for excellence. So on the basis of what I have said so far, quality education in the 21st century will focus on three things. One is the knowledge, disciplinary knowledge, interdisciplinary knowledge, and practical. Second is 21st century skills, about which I mentioned. And the third is values, attitudes, traits, disposition. That means your overall personality. So these three things constitute what is called as quality education. And you need all the three things in order to thrive and succeed in this modern world. And these three things constitute what is called competence. Competence includes knowledge, skills, and personality, proactive personality. That is why, these days, the focus is on competence. Focus is on competence-based education. Focus is on competence-based education as well as assessment. So you should educate all the three things. And you should assess also all the three things. So, normally when we were students, generally the focus was on knowledge. Skills was not a big thing, and nobody talked really about personality. They thought everybody has a personality. But now the things have changed. Even for you, You must have all the three things if you want to excel, if you want to acquire competence: knowledge, skills, and personality. So the focus in this 21st century is going to be on acquiring competence. This personality part is very important. There is a very famous iceberg model for competence. Knowledge and skills, like in an iceberg, are visible to everybody. But personality, which is the attitude, traits, thinking style, etc., they are not known. It's only when you deal with a person over a period of time that you come to know his or her personality. And this sometimes becomes the deciding factor. So this is basically what is called as iceberg model for competence. And it is said now that personality is the most important part. There is a report that 87% of all people fail not because of capability, but because of personality. And they don't know that it is their own outlook, attitude, values, which is coming in the way of their growth. That's the worst part, that they don't know. And personality development is often neglected in India. So what I have told you till now is very, very important as to what constitutes quality education and all that. Now, the next challenge which comes in the 21st century, especially in India, is need of creative and innovative minds in India. I personally feel that there is a crisis of innovation and creativity in Indian education system. Look at the fact, no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get a Nobel Prize after 1930. I come from the discipline of chemistry, and no Nobel Prize ever for an Indian chemist working in India. The only Nobel Prize was for C.V. Raman, who got it in 1930 for his discovery of the Raman effect. These people got Nobel Prizes, but then they were non-resident Indians. They were not working in India. Even Amartya Sen, although he got Nobel Prize, but although he's an Indian, but for decades he has been staying abroad. Even Abhijit Banerjee is an American citizen. And please remember, Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. No. If you want to excel in research at that level, you need many things. One is you need enormous amount of creativity and open-mindedness. And it can't come overnight. You need willingness to collaborate. You should collaborate with others. We in India sometimes work in isolation. Then one needs perseverance and resilience. We in India sometimes want immediate gains. I remember 2 years back, a person in Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, he was, I think, 97-year-old. So all this is required. And it's mainly because of our research work that we are not coming in the top universities of the world. Rather, there is a decline in many cases. So, one of the main reasons for poor world ranking of our higher educational institutions is poor quality of our research programs. Sometimes I feel best students do not come to research. At least in sciences, after 12th class, the best go to either medicine or engineering. And then the remaining come to pure sciences, and out of that also very few come to research. That's the reason why we have poor quality of our research programs. Why do we lack in quality research? One may ask the question. What is, this is linked to our education system. This is what is the fundamental flaw in our education system? Let's watch this video.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid-fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question, A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A. Ant, ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different, and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So you can very well see how our education system strip our children of their ability to think on their own. So this is a very, very serious problem. Our education system, I personally feel, is outdated and does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity amongst the students. And please remember, without creativity, there can be no progress. And we would be forever repeating the same pattern. As a matter of fact, in any education system, creativity should be given as much importance as we give to literacy. Albert Einstein once said, I have no special talent. I am only passionately curious. And curiosity is the foundation of creativity. And what does curiosity mean? Curiosity means whatsoever answer is given to you, you question that answer. So curiosity always questions the answer. That is how the new things come out. Another reason for our poor research and development is expenditure. Our research and development expenditure is nearly constant, 0.6 to 0.7% of our GDP, almost for the last 2 decades. So, without, quality comes with a price. You have to pay, you have to have money also. Whereas many of the leading countries, this is the expenditure on their research and development as a percentage of their GDP. So, on both these fronts, we need to think. Another challenge now is we need to enhance the quality of higher education in India. This is the 4th challenge I am telling. And please remember, ensuring quality higher education is one of the most important things we can do for our future generations. In education, 3 things are very important. What do we teach? Generally, we have outdated and heavy syllabi. Second is pedagogy. How do we teach? Generally, we follow teacher-centric talk and chalk method. And the third is, how do we assess our students? Our assessment is also, examination-driven learning. Students learn as their exams are like that. So these are the 3 things which are very important. We will take each one of them. Curriculum basically means the total learning experience in a formal education system. What do we teach? Now, the new education policy clearly mentions that we need to have light syllabi, only core essentials should be included, but it should be modern because knowledge in all disciplines is growing very, very fast. Knowledge is growing so fast that the doubling time of the growth of knowledge has shrunk considerably. We need to have skill-based and industry-led curriculum. Skills are becoming very important. So this should be included as a part of curriculum, and then industry-led curriculum. But if justice is to be done with such a syllabi or curriculum, teachers need to be equipped accordingly. Otherwise, there is no point. You put it in the curriculum, but teachers can't do justice, then there is no point in that. Our syllabi in most of the subjects are outdated. And they create a gap between what is learned and what should be learned. And this, affects the quality of research. That is why in many of the fields, we are not able to become leaders. We are still the followers. One reason is this, because our students have been exposed to very outdated syllabi. Then we also need to have a coordination between school and higher education. So all these things have to be kept in mind. Second is the pedagogy. How do we teach? We still follow the talk and chalk method of teaching. It is a teacher-centric approach, mainly a monologue method. You cannot explain many concepts on the board. And then this method presumes that all students learn in an identical fashion. That may not be true. There may be some slow learners, there may be some fast learners, but then it presumes like that. You can't solve many problems in the class because of the paucity of time, and then it is slow and time consuming. So these are some of the limitations of talk and chalk method of teaching. And then our method of teaching generally focuses more on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. This is what is today's reality is. In every discipline, not only chemistry, every discipline. Nobody wants to learn the concepts. Everybody wants to score 90 plus marks. You know, in the 21st century, according to the new education policy, you also need to have learner-centered learning rather than teacher-centered learning. Teacher-centered learning focuses on how a teacher can improve one's teaching. But in the learner-centered learning, the focus is how you can improve students' learning. So focus is on the needs of the learners. Therefore, we need to engage our learners. Please remember, this is a very important slide. Learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of activity of learners. We need to engage learners. Then they will learn. So why there is a need of learner-centric education? Because the thinking is that students learn best when they are engrossed in the topic, motivated to seek out new knowledge and skills, because they need them in order to solve the problems at hand. That's basically the thinking of learner-centric education. You make them work. And all this is possible in this information age where you can get any information. Once you know what you want, you can get it. And learner-centric education is not one method of teaching. There are many ways in the learner-centric education. One is, in the traditional learning, what do? Students are told what they need to know. They memorize it. And then a problem is assigned to them to illustrate how to use what they have memorized. That's basically how the traditional learning works. But in the problem-based learning, a problem is assigned to the students. Student will have to identify what all one needs in order to solve that problem. They learn it and apply it to solve the problem. So that is the problem-based learning. Then similar is the project-based learning. You give project to the students in the form of a question, let them do the research and find out what all they need to solve that problem, analyze the information, derive knowledge. All that is again learner-centric education. Another learner-centric education approach is collaborative learning environment. I have some idea, you have some idea, so we share with each other and the best idea comes. And under collaborative learning, there is a very famous TPS strategy, think, pair, share strategy. Think means you are given a question, you think over it. That is the thinking part, you do. Then you are paired with somebody else. So you listen to each other's ideas, share your idea, create new ideas together. That is the pairing part. And the sharing is then from two you form a bigger group. So listen to each other's ideas, share your partner's ideas, create new ideas together. So this is called TPS, collaborative learning strategy. As you can see, it promotes participation, focuses attention, and engages students. In a way, you can say that it turns your classroom into a collaborative learning community. One more teacher-centric method, this learner-centric method is the flipped classroom model. This flipped classroom model was developed by these two teachers in 2012. Now, what is the thinking behind flipped classroom model, teacher will create a video lecture on any topic and share it with the students. Students will watch this at home. They will watch the lecture. They will prepare questions for the teacher. So here, student is preparing question for the teacher based on the video lectures. And then at school or at college or university, teacher will facilitate discussion, will answer students' questions. And student will ask the questions and participate in learning activities. So that is basically called flipped teaching. But it is entirely teacher-centric, learner-centric approach, because student plays a very important role in this. They are made to work. They are the active learners. And here is how you can compare the two models. In the traditional classroom model, remembering and understanding is done in the class because teacher is delivering the lecture. And the higher order thinking skills, application, analysis, evaluation are done outside the class by the students on their own. Whereas in the flipped classroom model, remembering and understanding is done outside the class because students watch the video lectures. They do it at home. And then other skills, application, analysis, etc., they are imbibed in the class through discussion with the students and the teachers. So this is a new approach which is becoming very, very popular. So we have to change with the changing times. We still can't follow the same old method. If you look at these leading universities of the world, Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, they focus more on case studies, experiential, project-based and problem-based learning, collaborative learning. And there is very little focus on lecture-based learning. We still focus more on lecture-based learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to say is that you need to follow an integrated approach to teaching and learning. We sometimes teach subjects in isolation, as if they have nothing to do with other subjects. No. We have to tell the connections, because the research is also these days interdisciplinary research. So that connection or linkages we have to highlight. We also need to design activities and assignments which challenge the student's mind, which enhance creative thinking ability, which improve analytical skills, and which gives students more control over their learning. And please remember one thing, all this is possible only if the teacher is competent. That is why what I said in the beginning, the quality of an education system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. So you should also be trained to do that. And please remember, if we teach today's student as we taught yesterday's, we are going to rob them of tomorrow. We have to change with the changing times. Teachers must change with the changing times. That's the need of the hour. This was my article in Times of India, Education Times, Creativity Crisis in the Indian Education System. This is my article on flipped classroom. And the third is, how do we assess our students? Even new education policy says that we need to transform the culture of assessment, because assessment drives learning. The way you will assess your students will start learning in that way. So it can be a good way to enhance the quality of education in the country. Our examination system, unfortunately, is rote-based, mainly about textbook content and testing facts, definitions and procedures. Anything coming from outside the textbook is branded as out of syllabus or even protested. One thing one has to keep it in mind that learning is a 6-level hierarchy, which I mentioned earlier also. This is actually called Bloom's taxonomy. Any learning takes you from remembering, understanding, application up to creativity. So learning, at least the cognitive learning, should take you from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skills. So these are the 6 learning outcomes. But in our teaching, we generally focus on lower order thinking skills. Remembering, understanding, or application. Rarely we go to the top or higher order thinking skills. So assessment should test higher order thinking skills as well. Assessment process needs to be made more scientific to encourage multiple skills of the students. We need to have such questions in examination which focus on discouraging rote learning, focus on conceptual clarity, thinking, innovation, and creativity, real life situations, unfamiliar situations, enhance problem solving and analytical abilities. But who will set such questions? Again, it has to be the teachers. See, everything will remain on paper if teachers don't change. Yes, let me be very, very clear about this. Now, recently, this common university entrance test came, but it was all based on MCQs. MCQs have their own limitations. It's not possible to measure the ability to apply knowledge to complex problem or solve problem through MCQs. There is no opportunity for the students to demonstrate the depth of their knowledge. And there is also no opportunity to showcase their creative, logical, and analytical skills. No, not possible. There is no test of effective writing / oral skills. How will you test writing or oral skills? So these are some of the limitations. Another challenge in the 21st century for the teachers is you need to embrace technology and become tech savvy. Please remember, it's very difficult to imagine education without technology in the 21st century. Look at this. This is what happens in 1 internet minute. 1 minute at internet. 900,000 logins on Facebook. 16 million text messages in 1 minute. And you can see everything here. 4.1 million videos are viewed in 1 minute on YouTube. So how much we are dependent on technology. And now Japan is coming out with the internet which is 100,000 times faster than the current speed. Things are changing. So we are all dependent on technology, but please remember technology should be used strategically to benefit the students. Because excessive use of technology by the students has impacted adversely the generation of original ideas and hence creativity. Students are so much dependent on technology that they have stopped thinking. And this has affected their creativity. And you all know that ICT or technology is impacting all areas of higher education. You have to be clear about that. These are the areas where ICT has made impact. It has changed the way teaching learning is done. E-learning and MOOCs are coming now. Everybody talks about that. Even experimental work is done through virtual labs. Even the revision of the syllabi can be done through email, discussion forum, or video conferencing. Again, technology. Even in research, literature is growing very, very fast. So how to do the literature survey? You have electronic databases which can help you. Even in assessment, online examination is becoming very, very popular. National Testing Agency has been created. Even the professional development of the teachers is taking place through ARPIT programs and online programs. And then methods of teaching also have become ICT related. ICT empowered pedagogies are becoming popular. So you can very well see how education scenario is changing. And maximum change has come during the last 3-4 years, especially during Corona pandemic. So teachers have to be equipped accordingly. And now virtual universities are also going to come, as you all know. Then another challenge which is going to come is we need to empower teachers for education 4.0. You know, India is soon entering an era of education 4.0. 4.0 means total technology mediated education. The world is presently passing through the fourth industrial revolution. 3 are already over. Fourth is based on, cyber physical system, artificial intelligence, etc. So education 4.0 is aligned with the needs of industrial revolution 4. What type of workforce you need for industrial revolution 4.0, that workforce will come out of the education system. So it has to be aligned. These are going to be the technologies of the future. Artificial intelligence, robotics, virtual reality, Internet of Things, augmented reality, data science, gamification, machine learning, etc. And now one more thing, slowly in the world, we are slowly shifting towards personalized learning. Personalized learning means every learner is unique. Every learner has different needs, different comprehension rate, different learning capacity, different methods of gauging information. So every learner has some strengths and weaknesses, interests, etc. You find out them, and that can be found out using artificial intelligence in learning analytics. So, and then you prescribe a curriculum based on individuals' needs. That is what is called personalized learning. This is a very important slide. Personalized learning and integrated curriculum are the future of education in the 21st century. This is what's going to happen in the next few years. Integrated curriculum means, presently if somebody is teaching physics, somebody is teaching chemistry, somebody is teaching mathematics, they have no link with each other. But integrated means the topics which you are teaching, they are all interlinked, connected. Then you appreciate it better, the utility of each subject. So that is how the future is going to be. Gamification is now going to come in a very big way. Basically, it is to enhance the learning of the students. So gamification is based on the concepts of gaming, such as, competition, incentives, and goal attainment. There are already many e-learning games which are available for students as well as teachers. So through games, you learn. Again, it is the engagement of the students. So you are involved and then you learn. This was my article about how Education 4.0 will work for coming generations. One thing, please note down, that technology is never going to replace teachers. But technology in the hands of great teachers can be highly transformational. This was my article in Times of India. Technology won't replace teachers. So education in future is going to be an amalgamation of the transformations driven by Education 4.0, National Education Policy 2020, present pandemic, emerging student needs, and new technologies. All things taken together. And one more challenge which is there is the new roles of the teachers. The roles of the teachers are going to change in higher education. The roles of the teachers are going to change significantly. And the new roles of the teachers are going to be, you have to become tech savvy teachers in ICT skills. You must learn how to manage virtual classroom and discussion forum, because students are enrolled in e-learning or MOOCs, or if they have some questions, who will answer them? It is the teachers only. So they must learn how to manage a virtual classroom or a discussion forum. Then there is a need to engage students by learner-centric methods of teaching. That is what I told you. Because, teachers will be now more or less like mentors or coaches rather than knowledge providers. Now, there are many sources of knowledge. So you don't need to depend only on teacher. And then teachers should also be proficient in the development of e-content and MOOCs. Because e-learning and MOOCs, after all, who develops MOOCs? It is the teachers only. So they need to be very proficient in that. They should have excellent writing skills. Many times, a paper which a teacher has been teaching for years, if you ask them to write it, it becomes a problem because they lack good writing skills. So for all this, a transformation of teachers is required. A change of mindset is required. Generally, teachers think what I know is enough. No, it must be I must learn more. Teachers have to become interdisciplinary in their thinking, upskilling and learning other subjects. That is the need of the hour. And for all that, regular professional development is the need of the hour. Just one refresher or one orientation course is not going. It is a regular. Professional development should be a journey and not a destination. And this is my feeling. The best minds should come to the teaching profession. Even teachers should be given a course on teacher education, how to teach at the time of recruitment. This profession should be made more attractive, good promotional avenues. There should be awards and fellowships for excellence in teaching. Generally, most of the awards are for excellence in research. We should also have awards for excellence in teaching. Teachers should have conceptual clarity, skills, practical training, and then regular professional development. This is what a teaching profession should have. And now I come to the last part. What are going to be the important tips for you for building strong, proactive personality, about which I mentioned in the beginning? I told you about these three things. Knowledge I have covered, skills I have covered, but let me talk about personality part. Personality means a set of traits and behaviors that characterize an individual. Personality does not mean only your looks. One thing which I feel, we all should learn the art of living. We are so much stressed out, so much under tension. We have stopped knowing how to live. The art of living basically means capability to draw pleasure from life and to succeed in the greatest test called life. Look at this. This is the World Happiness Report. Where is India? India ranks 136th, almost at the bottom. People are not happy, always stressed out. And please remember, all the art of living lies in a fine mingling of letting go and holding on. Please remember, you do not find a happy life. You have to make it. So based on my own personal experience, I will like to share some tips which can be very important for you. Be proactive in life. If you are proactive, you focus on preparing. If you are reactive, you focus on repairing. So proactive people don't wait for the ship to come in, they swim out to it. Then you should be very clear about your priorities in life and then follow time management. This is the most important tip for all of you. Manage your time. Try to maximize your performance in the shortest time. Please remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Time management is life management. देखिए हिंदी में है, बंदी हैं हाथ पर सबके घड़ियां मगर पकड़ में किसी के एक लम्हा भी नहीं. And every day is once in a lifetime. Please keep that thing in mind. And one more thing which I would say, live in the moment. The present moment is the only moment available to us. And it is the door to all the moments. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple fact that you will never get the same moment twice. So make the best use of it. Live in the moment. You know, this was a song which we all used to, when we were students. Then another is self-belief. You know, if you want to be successful in life, you must believe that you can. Look at this quote. A bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch but in her own wings. So always believe in yourself. Any line you choose, excellence should be the key word. A penguin can never be a giraffe, so try to be the best penguin you can be. And one more thing, self-discipline is very important. Self-discipline basically begins with the mastery over your thoughts. If you can control what you think, you can control what you do. There is nothing in this world that can trouble you more than your own thoughts. Cages are not made of iron, they are made of thoughts. No, we keep on thinking. It's said that an average person thinks 70,000 thoughts in a day. Just imagine. So, if you can learn self-control, you can master anything. So, start practicing this. This will change your life. All this is to enhance your competence. Then work hard sensibly. Many people are very hard working. But please remember, direction is more important than speed. Choose your direction very, very carefully. And many people are not able to make much mark in life because they live in a comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It's only after you have stepped out of your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. One more thing which comes in as a stumbling block is the fear of failure. Overcome fear of failure. जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे, तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहेगा. So overcome that fear of failure. Failures can be the pillars of success depending on how you take them. Your attitude towards failure determines your altitude after failure. And then one more thing, stop worrying and start living. Many people suffer from this and they don't know. Worry is a misuse of your imagination. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. One day in life, you will look back and realize that you worry too much about things that don't really matter. So, stop worrying. And one more important quality which all of us should have is have empathy. You know, it's one of the most important interpersonal skills. Empathy basically means seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. That means you put yourself into another's shoes. That's basically empathy. It is the best quality which helps you to connect with another person. Watch this.
I recently came across this image and story and had to share it with you. The man in this picture doesn't know that there is a snake underneath. The woman doesn't know that there is a stone crushing the man. The woman thinks, I am going to fall, and I can't climb because the snake is going to bite me. Why can't he use a little more strength and pull me up? The man thinks, I am in so much pain, yet I'm still pulling you as much as I can. Why doesn't she try and climb a little harder? The moral is, you can never see the pressure the other person is under, and the other person can't see the pain you're in. This is life. Whether it's with work, family, feelings, or friends, we should try to understand each other a little more. Try to see the situation from the other person's point of view. Put yourself in their shoes. Learn to think differently. Be more open to other perspectives and opinions. A little kindness and patience goes a long way. Everyone we meet is fighting their own battle, some you will never hear about. You may wish other people would be more understanding and compassionate and helpful to you, so be all those things for other people. Lori Deshen once gave some priceless advice. She said, practice the pause. Pause before assuming. Pause before accusing. And pause whenever you're about to react harshly. You might avoid saying things you'll later regret. Be kind to each other.
And you know, when you see yourself in others, it is impossible to hurt anyone else. Keep one thing in mind, what do we live for if it is not to make life less difficult for each other? Just keep this thing in mind. And another quality is you should learn to walk away. Walking is the best exercise. Walk away from the arguments that lead you to nowhere but anger. Walk away from people who deliberately put you down. Walk away from any thought that, as you can see, reduces your worth. Walk away from failures and fears that stifle your dreams. The more you walk away from things, that poison your soul, the happier your life will. So just keep this thing in mind. And then learn to say no also in life. Learn the art of saying no. Don't lie, don't make excuses, don't over explain yourself. Just simply decline if you are not interested. You can be a good person with a kind heart and still say no. And generally, before you speak, let your words pass through three gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And if the answer is yes, only then you should speak. Then people will start taking you seriously. Words are free. It's how you use them that may cost you. Anger is also something which is a normal emotion, but you should try to control. Never say mean words out of anger. Your anger will pass, but your mean words can scare a person for life. So use either kind words or be silent. This is a good tip for you. Never reply when you are angry. Never make a promise when you are happy. And never make a decision when you are sad. In all the three cases, you may have to regret later on. But one thing you should note down, beneath every anger, there always lies some fear. And then no to arrogance. This is very, very, very important. There is a difference between confidence and arrogance. Both look similar, but sources are different. Confidence comes from self-belief, about which I said earlier, whereas arrogance comes from ego. Now there is a famous quote, कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े हैं. Remember that you are dust and to dust you shall return. Keep this reality of life always in mind. And then have a high opinion of yourself. Don't think low of yourself. No. Having a low opinion of yourself is not a modesty, it is a self-destruction. So holding your uniqueness in high regard is not egotism, it is a necessary precondition to happiness and success. And just I want to share, these are the habits of the most successful people in the world, common habits. Strategic planning and deliverance, laser sharp focus, then risk-taking ability, then health and fitness, and hard work and consistency. So all these are some of the common habits of the most successful people in the world. And you have to take care of your health also, because it is the only place you have to live. Even the intelligence and skills will function at the peak of their capacity when the body is healthy and strong. So challenge yourself. That's the last part. At the end of the day, your biggest competition is you. You have to win over yourself before you move on to win the world. You don't have the problem. You are the problem. Please note down. स्वर्ग भी तू है, नर्क भी तू है, इन दोनों का फर्क भी तू है. जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती है, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं. जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं, तब तक लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So that's basically what I want to say. One day you will be just a memory for some people. Do your best to be a good one. This is my closing remarks. Challenges keep us fresh. There is a famous quote, a ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are built for. Similarly, humans are not designed to be happy in status quo. So continue to remain dissatisfied so that you can get better and better. Challenges are what keep us fresh. A good principle you should have both at work and in life. Don't take every challenge as a problem, take every problem as a challenge. A message for all of you. There is a very famous book, Die Empty, written by Todd Henry. Todd Henry was once asked as to what motivated you to write this book. He said that he was attending a business meeting where the director asked the audience which is the richest land in the world. One said oil rich Gulf states. Other said diamond mines in Africa. Then the director said, no, it is the cemetery, it is the burial ground, which is the richest land in the world, because millions of people have died and they carried with them many invaluable ideas that could not come to light nor benefit others. They are lying there buried. So that prompted him to write this book. Live full, die empty. Don't die old, die empty. That's the goal of life. Go to the cemetery and disappoint the graveyard. And please remember, no one has ever become poor by giving. This is one small, but I think I would like to share this. Is your future already destined? Just watch this.
So his question is, how does luck or destiny, what role does it play in victory or success, right? Is it all hard work? Is it all destiny? What is it? Now, in my humble opinion, destiny is the situations that come to you, which are beyond your control. For example, you didn't choose your parents. Did any of you choose your parents? You were destined. That was destiny. You were born. ऐसा नहीं बोले ये मेरी बाप, ये मेरे माँ, मैं अवतार दूंगा इनसे. Have you ever thought like that? Never. Did you ever choose your looks? ऐसा नाक होगा. Did you choose? No one looks as good as their Facebook profile picture, and no one looks as ugly as their Aadhaar card picture. No one. No one looks like that. So situations are destiny. You didn't choose them. They came to you. If someone comes and insults me, I didn't choose it. It came to me. That situation is destined. But my response to the situation is my choice. Response is not destiny. What I choose is my choice. And when I choose it, that decides my future destiny. This is why they say man is the maker of his destiny, not situations. Situations will remain what they are, but how you respond to those situations is completely and entirely your choice. So now, for example, some of you may have just got admission in a mediocre, simple college. Why? You couldn't crack it to go to IIT Mumbai. You couldn't crack it to any of those places. No issues, right? It's not that only IITians succeed, is it? You have that situation which is destined. Now you have a choice to work hard, to cultivate that attitude. That attitude is not destiny. That attitude is a choice. And when you choose that attitude, hopefully victory will come to you right away. Even if it doesn't come to you right away, you have sown the seed that will pay back. The seed that is sown will certainly fructify. Now, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, or later. This is why persistence, sticking it out, is so much essential. Thank you very much, sir.
सुनो गजर क्या गाए समय गुजरता जाए.
Anyway, this is my last slide, and thank you very much. It was a pleasure being a part of this program. I think I've taken a little more time, but I just wanted to share whatsoever thoughts were there in my mind. Thank you very much, and all the best for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for very much informative and brainstorming a lecture. Thank you for being a chief guest in this inaugural session and for your keynote address. You not only made us aware about all the upcoming challenges of new education policy, at the same time you gave us very important tips and encouragement. You talked about the word of uncertainty and about artificial intelligence, and that a new education policy it is at just at the threshold and anytime it can come, and we must be ready for that. Teachers need to be equipped, and you talked about well skills and creativity is as important as literacy. You talked about quality education, research, skill-based, and industry-led curriculum. Chalk and talk method is important. We too use nowadays also, but it has some limitations, as you said. It fails in identifying slow learners and advanced learners. So we need to have learner-centric method, and that too, there is not a single method, but there are many methods. So what we need to have, as you said, is integrated approach of teaching and learning. We talked about new role of teachers in I request all delegates to mute your mic, please. You gave us very important tips, sir, and a lesson of morality and ethics as well. Like self-discipline, you talked. Priority, we should have, you talked. Time management, you talked. And as you said, words are free, but our use makes the difference. Our use may cost. And very important song which was played there, the आगे ना जाने तू ना जानू मैं कि आगे क्या है, लेकिन फॉर दिस सेशन आई नो आगे क्या है. आई invite Honorable Vimal Rar ma'am, the project head and joint director of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center. You are a professor and head in the Department of Chemistry in Khalsa College, University of Delhi. Honorable Vimal Rar is there, I suppose, ma'am. Ma'am is online, I suppose. Honorable Vimal
Yes,
Rar.
I am online, please. Yeah.
Okay. You are a leading one entrepreneur in the area of e-learning with a decade of experience, and in cooperative learning you are pioneer in that. I suppose in your credit there are many research papers, patents, books, presentations, projects, invited talks at local, national, and international level. In the field of e-learning, Professor Ras has made a mark at national level in various activities such as development of e-content, teachers e-kit, MOOCs, empowerment of teachers in ICT skills, introduction of newer teaching methodologies, and 4-quadrant format of e-content. You are managing 3 centers working in the field of e-learning at national level at Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of MHRDC, Government of India. You have trained more than around 7,000 teachers, for which recently felicited by Union Minister Srimati Smriti Irani ma'am at Center for E-Learning. You have been contributing in policy making at national level in various committees like online courses, regulations of 2018 of UGC, e-governance committee, technical committee of National Academic Depository at UGC. I welcome Honorable Ma'am as a guest of honor in this inaugural session. I request you to continue and guide us to address the delegates.
Thank you, and good morning, rather good afternoon, everyone. I welcome on behalf of GADTLC, first of all, my gratitude to Professor A.K. Bakhshi, chairman of our center, and to be agreeing to deliver this keynote address, sir. We are very much thankful. And it is always a motivating lecture, and I think I must have witnessed more than now 300, I am no counting, but every lecture is a new flavor, and that indeed was true today also. I also pay my gratitude to the entire organizing team of this esteemed institution, especially President Honorable Shri Kishore Hambarde, Secretary Shri Atul Kumar Meher in absentia, entire organizing committee of this Hambarde Mahavidyalaya ST, especially Dr. Suparno Nibore, principal of this esteemed institution, Dr. Abhay Kunde, Dr. Santosh, and all others who are associated in the organizing committee. And most importantly, all my dear colleagues, thank you so much. You have joined in such a great number that is also helping us go further and keep on moving in doing more events with all of you. I'll just share my screen and take this further. Just tell me if it is visible. And request, please.
Ma'am, you are muted.
Minute. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just. Okay, so I welcome each one of you on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, GAT TLC, how it is popularly now known by all of you. Many of you are already aware, but I suppose there are many new colleagues who have joined. So it becomes my responsibility to give you slight awareness about what the center activities are. So GAT TLC is organizing this collaborative event with Hambarde Mahavidyalaya, and this is a faculty development program which has the mandate to be approved for CAS requirements of UGC and AICT, and we will be deliberating on roles of teachers in national education policy. Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is situated at my own premier institution, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, a constituent college of University of Delhi. And we are seeking blessings from Guru Angad Dev Ji, the second of the 10 Sikh Gurus, who was chosen none other than by Guru Nanak Dev Ji to take his preachings to the world. And we have a distinguished advisory committee headed by Professor A.K. Bakhshi and distinguished other members. And I also welcome you on behalf of Professor Jaswinder Singh, Director GADTLC, who will be joining perhaps in the valedictory event with all of you. GADTLC has a state-of-art infrastructure, and it was inaugurated on 1st July 2016 by the then Honorable HRD Minister Smriti Jobin Irani ji. Few words of this inaugural event when she addressed us.
आज मैं विशेष रूप से बधाई देती हूँ प्रोफेसर बख्शी को, विमल जी को, जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके इस सेंटर को जीवित रूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया। ये एक टीचर की ललक उसके उत्साह का उदाहरण है कि भारत सरकार ने दिसंबर 2014 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के हाथों पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय नेशनल मिशन को राष्ट्र के सामने प्रस्तुत किया, लेकिन उसमें हमने एक शर्त रखी कि जो भी इस प्रोजेक्ट से जुड़े वो स्वयं एक अनोखा टीचिंग लर्निंग का प्रस्ताव लेकर आए, और उस प्रस्ताव में जो अनोखा हो अथवा वो प्रस्ताव अगर शिक्षकों के माध्यम से आए तो विशेष रूप से हमारा सहयोग ऐसे प्रोत्साहित शिक्षकों को जो दूरगामी परिणाम देख सकते हैं, ऐसे शिक्षकों को समर्थन करने का हमारा प्रयास है।
So what was unique and futuristic is that our team could envision that there is a need of integration of technology in all processes, whether it is the development of content as a support material, or it is the use of the technology or the various tools and the newer pedagogies which can integrate technology. So that has been our expertise, and we have been working in various projects around this. So under GAD-TLC, we have been conducting various empowerment workshops, faculty development programs, faculty induction programs, and we have actually seen how our higher education from ministry point of view has evolved using the technology interface in a very serious manner. And we have also evolved some open educational resources, and thousands of teachers are working in the Teachers E-Kit, which is my own concept. So the idea is how we can integrate the subject, technology, and pedagogy to meet to the learning outcomes of the student, which is called as outcome-based education. And all this is encapsulated in the form of NEP 2020, which many speakers will be deliberating in this FDP. And before proposing this entire concept for GAD-TLC, our team had worked at the national level for UGC project EPG Pathshala at our another center for e-learning. And another unique thing which now many institutions are replicating, that we were the front runners who completed this project in record time for 6 subjects, and that too in a unique way, rather than outsourcing the content development work, especially the technical part of video recording and editing or creation of animation. We had our in-house team, we created our own studio, and that is the unique model which is now also being emphasized, that every institution should be having these type of facility where the teachers can look up at the innovative models, how the teaching learning processes can be evolved, and the support material in form of good quality content can be provided. And all this content for these 6 subjects, where we have developed 89 courses, it is all available on inflipnet.ac.in, and everyone can use in the so-called flipped classroom model, which Professor Bakhshi has highlighted. And there are many other pedagogies which you can integrate these video content. And not only for our subject, there are many other, around 77 subject UGC started, and most of them are now available on inflipnet.ac.in and also on other platforms which are being replicated. We also have contributed for 42 MOOCs in the first stage of MOOCs when they were started and launched in India through the SWAYAM platform. And at the PG level, out of the 63 PG level MOOCs launched by UGC, we had contributed the major chunk of 42 MOOCs from our center. So what I am going to tell is actually from the ground level, which we have done work on preparation of MOOCs and e-content, and how the technology can be integrated in a very positive way and meets towards the visions of NEP 2020. Another activity which we have done, because now every institution is also required to work for the society improvement, and with Indian Cancer Society we had created a MOOC which is available free for all of you. I will request all of you and your students should enroll. And not only because this is a general topic, irrespective of your subjects, you will also come to know what are the 4 quadrant format and how the quality of content can be, what type of videos can be there, because here we have gone to field shooting, some cancer survivors, some doctors interview. So all have been embedded, and that becomes a good learning model, that if you are also planning to prepare some video content, that how you can design. Also, our team has contributed in designing the faculty induction program content framework. When this was launched again in 2018, Ministry wrote to many centers, and of them, few of the suggestions were accepted, and I am happy to share that out of 12 modules, 8 modules are accepted almost as such by Ministry of Education, and most of them, if you see the ICT, e-content development, MOOCs, the use of technology in pedagogy and teaching learning methods, assessment, evaluation, all this is what our model we have evolved has been taken. And since then, many centers are conducting these programs, and including us also, but that's a once or twice a year program, faculty induction program, but rather I will say that is a master program which encapsulates all the smaller theme. And even if you are not looking for, yes, we require this faculty induction program because that is for the entry level teacher, but I will also request the senior teachers, if they can go through this modules, then this will also prepare you that you become the resource persons and take this baton further. And we have been conducting various events face to face because since 2016, that was the time when face to face events were there, and we had touched more than 9,000 till April 2020. And since April 2020, we went online because of the constraint of COVID. But we ourselves realized, because we were using technology in the beginning also, but then the teachers were not ready. And now I see a very positive impact of, although the corona pandemic was very bad for us as human beings, but then it is a silver lining in the dark cloud that for education system, we all have adapted to this online learning. And since then, I am happy to share that in last 2 years, this is the data till March 2020 only, we are every day we are increasing. So till March 2020, we had touched around 74,000 teachers. And I was just looking at the database yesterday, it is more than 77,000 teachers. So all this is happening now, and we all have to be a part of these particular faculty development program, not just as Professor Bakhshi rightly mentioned, that it has to be just one requirement or two requirement for your promotion, but there are so many changes which are happening in higher education. We all have to be first of all aware, and then looking at our own requirement of subject, technology and pedagogy in general, what are the changes that we have to embrace to learn, and if you already know, then try to share. So this is the time where I think we each one of us have to be taking part either in sharing information or in learning more, and that is what the lifelong learning concept, and you will be able to evolve our education system better. And you can also contribute in these initiatives like Teacher Kit, which is open educational research, where again it is a 4-quadrant model and it is accepted for the 5 APIs per month. But this is entirely voluntary, and many groups of teachers, you take the entire paper, and I'll be talking more about this when I take the session on 4-quadrant approach. We also have National Resource Center of Chemistry, where we have the mandate of conducting ARPIT programs. These ARPIT were online refresher program prior to COVID, and they were huge success. They were launched through the SWAM platform. And since 2018, we have been conducting these, and there have been record number of registration, as well as out of the 42 courses, our number of enrollments and the pass also is highest as per the NTA data. And for this continued contribution of more than 70,000 teachers, recently the GAT-TLC team was felicitated again by the Union Minister Smriti Zubin Irani ji. She came to our college in May 2020. Coming to this faculty development program, where role of teacher in national education policy is the focus. But if we talk about role of teachers in higher education, I think broadly we have to be preparing ourselves into teaching, that is dissemination of knowledge, and also research and publication. And now even the publication is taking newer dimension, where the use of technology is also becoming important. Along with that, we also have administrative role, where also if we use ICT, then we can definitely have more automated processes and save on time, so that we can contribute more to enhance the education system. But to achieve education, I think our aim is not only to make computing professional. I will request to please mute if those who are not. Yeah, thank you. So not only to make the competent professionals, but also responsible Indian citizens, and most importantly, good human beings. And hallmark of education system has been that it changes with time, and we have to be changing with time. And this change is happening in a very different dimension, where the role of technology is becoming very important. If we look back in the history, when we had Guru Shishya Parampara, there were many positive things. The positive was there was more personal interaction, but you can see the negative. There is no, you cannot have mass number of students sitting in front of Guru with no technology like even the board where the sharing of information can be done, and the access, equity, quality, we have to keep all these three in balance. And as we went further, looking at the requirement of every sector, including education sector, new and new technology keep on coming. And this board is something I feel we have really struck ourselves that as if this is the only way where we can share the information with the student. My humble request, I think we have to go away from these boards. We were preparing from last more than 2 decades at various central government level and state government levels towards integrating ICT in the form of various smart boards or the LCD projectors and so on. And you see the teacher is now not facing the back like in Blackboard, but front and in explaining. But this explanation also needs to be more interactive. It's not simply whatever you write and then you speak. It has to be taken to the next level. And while preparing for the models of pedagogy or in use of technology, in between we were caught in this corona phase in April 2020, and we were like, now what to do? But then, as I mentioned, the positive part was that we all have become comfortable. Otherwise, imagine sitting in our own professional or personal spaces, interacting with more than 200 participants in FDP. It was not possible because if you have a classroom, the face to all those constraints will be always there. But here, the technology is providing a way where we can connect more number of us and take it further. And now we have to look for the models where we can be not just that, okay, now the students were not there, we use the technology and now we are back in classrooms. So we should not go back, but we have to take it further in the light of NEP 2020, what all positive changes in terms of the change of our pedagogy or the tools that we have to integrate and the improvement in our delivery of our subject in outcome-based education. NEP 2020 also notes that there has to be extensive use of technology in teaching learning, removing language barriers, increasing access as well as education planning and management. And you're all aware, what I'm trying to give you is an overview of what all is there. Already Professor Bakhshi has highlighted so many things, but then how this entire FDP is designed, it will be also deliberating on these parts. So MOOCs, you're already aware, and we will be deliberating more on the 4-quadrant, the content inside and how the structure and delivery is there. Also, you are aware about that now the students have the provision of integrating the online learning courses through SWAYAM platform, and there are changes which are being evolved under this. It was 20% in 2016, and now it has been increased to 40%, up to 40%. But in reality, it is still not in place because we, again, if you look at the roles of teachers, we have to be knowing them, we have to do the mapping with what is existing, not to replace whatever is the existing, but to provide flavor of options and electives. Because what I personally feel is CPCS is a very, again, is a visionary way where the students are provided options and electives, but then in a face-to-face traditional way, it is not possible because of so many factors. Either all specialization teachers are not available in an institution, or the limitations of the workload. So many factors. So if you can have cluster institutions, or we can have national level initiatives like MOOCs, then I think options and electives can be provided. Why in a class of 60 students, if one student says, I don't want to opt for this, I want to have this option, and can we not provide 60 students 60 options or electives? Right now not, but with the help of technology it is possible, and we have to be positively working in that direction. Also, now there is a provision of fully online courses or program. That does not mean that it will be closing the traditional or the conventional courses or the institution, but it is about integration of using the infrastructure and facilities of the traditional and conventional, as well as open and distance education system, how we can provide online courses to more number of aspiring students, because NEP 2020 also talks about taking the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035. It is not possible by just replicating the model we had from the last 70 years. So this has to be with the help of technology. I happen to be a member of this committee who formulated these regulations for online courses. And there is another vision that once the students go out of the education system and still they want to pursue higher education, then the online courses will provide them the flexibility where they can do their jobs as well as do their further career profession through earning more degrees which may be required for their, and also the skills and all. So this is an amalgamate, and I'm also looking for with the help of online courses. And now we also have a provision, you all must be aware, that a student can do 2 degrees simultaneously, one in face-to-face mode and one in online mode. And another positive point of online mode is that if a student is aspiring that, okay, I want to do this particular course, but then I am not getting cut off in this particular institution because of other parameter, because there is a competition at national or state level or otherwise. But then in online courses, every student who wants to do that course, the institution has to agree. And that is the positive point from learner perspective again, that they can pursue that particular online course also, although there are many evolutions which are yet to happen, because there are challenges. Right now it is not possible for the BSc type of courses or hands-on courses, but then hybrid courses, what I am looking for, will be again the near future, where the theoretical part can be done online and the existing infrastructures can be upgraded to have more number of students for the practical or the hands-on component. Research is also very important in terms of our one of the roles, because that not only is I will say the requirement from our profession point of view, but I think as a teacher also we evolve the more we are involved in research. And role of education system is very important in producing good researchers. And if we are not able to integrate that in our education system and for teachers, then definitely we are not going to prepare good researchers in the future. And NEP 2020 also focuses on National Research Foundation to foster a research culture in India and to fund competitive peer-reviewed grant proposal. And one thing which I will like to highlight again, there will be sessions based on this, that research activities and research policies, they must be aligned with each other and with societal context. So the role of society and the role of education institutions in identifying the problems of the society and how they can be taken as serious research problem is what I think we all have to be looking. In dimensions of research, we also have to be looking at the role of industry. And again, here it will depend upon each one of you, what subject you are teaching. Look at where your alumni are going, what type of job they are going. So accordingly, we have to coordinate with the industry or the society so that we can do the hand holding of them in this. And as rightly said by Professor Bakhshi also, we have to be looking into interdisciplinary research where meaningful activities are done in terms of integrating different subjects, because life is not simply a chemistry or a physics or a commerce or a issue. It is, you open any new venture, You will have all types of problems and issues in addition to the core expert area where you are nurturing them. So that is the type of understanding I think we have to give out to our students. But then it all depends on the teaching methodology that we are following. So in the light of technology, how I will like to put up this is that we have to be using ICT in disseminating knowledge. So we say ICT empower dissemination of knowledge. And that is all we talk about: e-learning, blended learning, how the formation of MOOCs, online courses, the various pedagogies for flipped classroom methodology or the think, pair, share type of model in interacting with the students, how we have the face-to-face interaction and some online interactions, how the hybrid model can be evolved. And in terms of assessments also, there is more emphasis in NEP on formative assessment, how the assessments can be made more meaningful. That also the technology layer will be useful. So we have to be tech savvy teachers. And also in terms of research, it has to be ICT enabled research. The creation of digital resources is another area rather than writing the normal books which we are doing. But again, our team envisages that very gradually the digital medium will overtake the print medium, which I think in last 2 years we have already witnessed. And we have to be preparing and making the content available for the students who will be more tech savvy. They are definitely more tech savvy than us. It is the challenge for us to be on toes and take learning from our students as well. Also, there has to be a spirit of continuous professional development through the various ARPIT courses or FDPs and so on, webinar and all. So NEP 2020 focuses us to become effective online educators, and there is emphasis on learner-centric pedagogy. And these are the graduate outcomes, which again are coming in the forefront, although these are being mentioned when we had the LOCF framed curriculum. But now with NEP 2020, we have to be also looking into designing of COs, POs, the mapping of them. And I'm happy to know that in this FDP, we will be having session on that also. So how you can do the, first of all, analysis of what you're teaching, map it to the CO and try to see that out of, if you look at the graduate outcomes at the rate of UGC, there are 15 of them. These disciplinary knowledge, communication skills, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning, research related skills, cooperation or teamwork, scientific reasoning, reflective thinking, information or digital literacy, self-directed learning, multicultural competence, moral and ethical awareness, leadership readiness or qualities towards and lifelong learning. At higher education, we have to be preparing our students for lifelong learning. Can you map whatever you have been doing in the last years of your teaching, what activities you have done and how many of them you have been able to integrate? That is what is the gist of CO and PO mapping. And we have, if you feel that yes, it is missing, we have to be now thinking about what activities, what case studies, what ways we can integrate all these and prepare our students for 21st century skills, creative thinking, interdisciplinary way, and taking it into a transdisciplinary. And that's why when you look at NEP 2020, it talks about multidisciplinary institution, because when you have different disciplines in the same institution, then only you can talk about interdisciplinary approach. Otherwise, if you have only a institution which is dealing with law, then obviously you're not having the science courses. There is no way the legal study can be integrated with science and vice versa. So that's why the role of multidisciplinary institutions have been emphasized, and we have to be looking into case studies which are highlighting on the social ethical issues or some accidents or tragedy, depending upon what topic you are dealing. Maybe in your entire one semester course, you take one case study, but then it should be trying to address some of these issues which you can match up with the graduate attributes. Also, industrial and real life application is, I think, if we start taking, we will be going away from the rote learning environment, not just as a paper environment and sustainability. So much hue and cry is happening at the global level, but it has to be integrated at grassroots level in each and every classroom. Then only the change will happen. And especially my request to my science colleagues, that in science lab, please do minimum wastage of chemicals. We have all again come up with a model where the chemistry labs can be made more safer and greener. Similarly, I am welcoming teachers who want to work on physics and bio methods also, and you can conduct a training program for other teachers also. We will be happy to provide our GAD banner with you. And we have to be looking even at institution level, that how we reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. And the minimum should be the disposal, which should be done. And also, when we are interacting with our students, we have to be looking into some other requirements of our society in building, which is women empowerment, gender equality, happiness. I think there should not be any special classes for happiness. Every teacher, you should be integrating that happiness quotient in between. I'm looking for smileys in the chats from all of you. It is not to be that you wait for any special lesson. Every class, you ensure that in between you have some good fun moments, because the moment you have fun moments with your students, the definitely the learning chart also increases. There will be more. And also, we have to make our institution where we respect for all religions and cultures, toward national pride. We can integrate various ways by when we use 50, and we have to be I'm actually, I have evolved a model where AICIT has accepted for all the engineering courses and the technical polytechnic courses, where it can be integrated, the MEP 2020 and outcome based education in the book writing. And the teachers are now getting trained at how they can be integrating these models. So flipped classroom model is what we have to learn, but then all these things we will be able to do only and only when we are tech savvy. So right from basic ICT skills to leaving the chalk and board, I think chalk and board, our efforts go away. So I will request, please, let's go away from that. Try to prepare your good PowerPoint presentation, even in a face-to-face delivery. And you can record your session. Now there are tools which you can do. Share them on LMS so that the students can look it again and again. But then while you are making presentation, which are good storyboards also for making professional level e-content, I will say don't use it as a script. The moment you use it as a script, whether you are doing a face-to-face delivery or reading your paper in a conference or making a content, you are definitely not doing justice, because this tool is power to the points. It is not the entire paragraph and the text. And that's why teachers, many teachers interact with me, that our students say, Madam, sir, you give me your PPT, I don't need you. Please let us not make ourselves redundant in the system. We, if we go towards the system, and if any policy maker tries to replace teacher, I think we will be going in a very wrong direction. The tools are to empower us, and that's why how we have to be using the tools should be used where we are having some equations, some animations we want to put up in a way where how we want to explain, so that it is more understanding from students point of view. The use of pictures which may be taking time to draw, or the 3D type of models which can make the concept more understanding. The simulations are there. So that's how the integration has to be done. And if you still think there are some concepts where the way we write on board, I cannot go away from board, then also it is possible. The screen capture softwares are there. You should learn them, prepare your own video. Even if you are writing the way you are writing on a board and chalk, then you can do it digitally, record it and preserve, use it in your presentation, mute the audio, use it in your live delivery, or with audio you can put it in your learning management system and share with your students. And you also should be equipped in how the interaction can go seamless 24/7 with the students, and that is possible with the help of learning management system. Because as we are going further, you should be also looking that you will be creating so much digital content already there. More you will be prepared every year. You have to prepare because the dynamics of the class will also be different, and there will be changes in syllabi, and so many dynamic factors are there. So we have to be continuously keep on creating that and using the old one. So how do you manage these things? You have to learn learning management systems like Moodle, and will be exposing the students interface in this. My class is based on Moodle only. So institution level LMS has to be there. LMS, once you know, you can also contribute at national level or state level. Open education resources like Teachers Kit is again put up on learning management system, where using the better features of this technology, you can be creative in terms of even creating different type of questions or content. And also now even the copyright publishing, the type of books, now they are also going into e-books and the entire video MOOCs type of format. So there also you'll get opportunity, provided you know how to handle these learning management system. And then you should be knowing how to structure that, how the content uploading can be done with the help of various tools, the compression techniques. uh, Assessment methods, if I talk about, they have to be multiple numbers, keeping in mind, are they being helpful in measuring the attainments of the learning outcomes, which you have done the COPO mapping. And when we are going into case studies, group work, the presentation, then we have to be evolving rubrics, which is nothing but a scoring or a grading tool, which will contain a list of criteria and benchmark standards and can be used to score or grade assessment tasks or learning outcomes. And using technology, not only MCQs, which now or most of the entrance examinations are going into, but various other forms like drag and drop, numerical based questions, video audio based questions, crosswords, matching, so many new ways where the questions can be, and teachers have to learn. Unless or until you know how these questions can be framed in different ways using technology, you will not be able to use your subject and integrate with them. So that is possible only when you have knowing. And then when you start preparing these questions, please, whatever questions you prepare, do proper tagging to chapter, topic, subtopic level, and take some taxonomy. I will recommend Bloom's taxonomy. If you don't want to put into 6 category, but at least put it into that category 1, level 1, 2, 3, which is the routine way we have been doing. Most of the rote learning is around that. And try to see, can you prepare category 2 questions also of whatever type of questions that you are preparing, whether MCQ or the subjective questions, or in the rubrics of the projects and all that we are giving. National Testing Agency has the mandate now of conducting various proctored online examination. So when those institutions who are having online the online courses, they will also have to either tie up with these type of institution, or if you are conducting at your own level, you have to understand the nuances of online examination, how many sets you will require, or you are doing randomization, then how the cheating can be avoided. There are so many online proctoring tool that they are there, and how using AI also the proctoring can be done. All these nuances, they are becoming part of a responsibility, and we all, unless or until we are aware, we will not be even able to help the institutions to take a uh, decision which is going in the right direction, which is falling under the implementation of entire ambit of NEP 2020. Also, from different subjects requirement, you have to also look up that in your own subject, for teaching processes as well as further research, what are the softwares which the industry uses or you can integrate. Like as a chemistry teacher, I will often use structure drawing, 3D modeling, graph plotters, data analysis, drug designing. You have to also identify from your point of view, and if you don't know them, please try to learn. And if you know them, please come to us. Let us help other teachers also learn that. E-content development is again a new role which is coming, and I'll be taking a detailed session, so I'll not go into the detail here. But then those who want to now go into professional development of these e-contents, then they also have to understand somewhat tech. I will not say that you now start doing some multimedia course or animation course, but then some understanding. So if you are hiring technical team also, if you have the provision of creating MOOC, you get the funding, or you have it from your institution, then how the quality content can be prepared using different techniques. So at least you should be aware what mix and match can be done, how the camera setup and the entire studio dynamics, the focus on audio video recording, some hardware part, the voice modulation, how you have to be performer, all these things we have to be looking. You see, this is the background, we were sitting on this green, but it can be removed, and even this table is artificial. So I will recommend all of you just watch it over, or maybe in my session I'll be showing you some sample. You can look up at this online refresher course, see the backgrounds, and even if you're not from chemistry, it doesn't matter, look at how the content can be made very enriching in terms of use of various video development tools. But then moving towards this digital thing, we also have to be very ethical of copyrights, the fair use guidelines, how much we can use, and when we are preparing open educational resources or using them, how proper citation has to be done, or when we are publishing, whether as research or the assignment publication of the students, then also the use of plagiarism tools. All these are the things I think we have to be learning ourselves and training our students also in this direction. And at the end, I will just request a continuous capacity building of teachers along with quality content and books is what I think, if we look at NEP 2020, if we try to seriously work in this direction, we will be able to take NEP 2020 in the proper way. In this FDP, I request all of you that we will be giving flexible mode option, but then combined with LMS and your online, we will be having attendance parameter. So if the entire certification will based on attendance, so either you attend the live session, if you are not able to attend, the recorded session will be available on my class. The next session will tell you how to access these videos. Assignment pages and project submissions are all compulsory. If you fail to not meet either of the assignment pages or projects criteria and minimum of attendance, then we will be not able to give you the uh, the CAS certificate with grade. It will be only a certificate of participation, and it will be clearly mentioned that it is not eligible for CAS use. But then definitely all those who even don't want to use it for CAS, they want to just attend, you are most welcome, because definitely I assure there's going to be a great learning in this. And please share this Telegram link to your other fellow colleagues also. We keep on evolving various FDPs. You want to conduct some collaborative event, you can write to us, and you can also tell your colleagues to join in our other events. So at the end, I again once of all thank Hambade Mahavidyalaya Asti. Very delighted to see that we have been able to now collaborate with so many institutions across the country, and this is another edition. Thank you all the organizing, thank you principal sir, and we are looking forward for greater interaction for all dear colleagues who have joined as partners. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Then I'm here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Is there anybody to ask questions to ma'am? You can unmute your mic yourself. Ma'am, thank you very much as a guest of honor this inaugural function. As you said, Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is making very good attempts, and that you said about new pedagogy. You also talked about the teacher's role in. You also talked about the teacher's role in new education policy. Not only that, but about the cultural harmony, religious harmony, waste management, and many other ethical values of teachers, you addressed us about new pedagogy, and that 42, as good as 42 MOOCs were developed at the center, and that you said when 12 modules were prepared, out of 12, 8 were directly accepted by Ministry of Education. That is very good thing really. And as you said, student is the main stakeholder in all this scenario. So we should be student centric, learner centric. And in pandemic situation, as the center was online before pandemic also, but after pandemic, the value of online courses, MOOC courses, understood better. It was 20% only, the value was 20% only before, and now it is about 40% weightage to the MOOC courses and PERMS courses. I will be happy to tell you that at our center also, we have also understood the importance of technology, especially online access, online use, and all e-contents we are using more prominently in this pandemic situation. I'm happy to tell you that at our center we are working in rural area, but our patron, Honorable Kishore Hambade, the president of Ashti Taluka Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, had made us all things available, all IT infrastructure. It was already there, but we updated versions. We have 200 plus computers here. And in pandemic also we were running online classes. Our principal, Honorable Nimbori sir, he had made us compulsory to have department-wise one seminar, an online seminar at international and national level. We have successfully organized all these things, and due to pandemic, as it had made loss to many other sectors, severe loss to education sector, but some good things had also come up as use of technology by teachers, by students, and almost by all of us. I suppose technology cannot replace teachers, that is right. But teachers who use technology can definitely replace the teachers who don't use technology. And as you said, as on today, you have 77,000 professors in touch with the center. But today we have added 200 plus. I suppose every day and every day, and the more readership, more viewership, and more membership, the teachers will be in your contact. I suppose. Thank you very much for your guidance, and I'm very sure that your guidance and your suggestions will help we all the delegates, including we all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Now
Thank
I
you.
request our principal, Honorable Nimbori sir, the chairperson of this inaugural session, to have complimentary words. Honorable Dr.
Thank you, Abhay sir. Good afternoon, one and all. First of all, I thank Minister of Education to sanction a permission for this faculty development program. Also, I give my thanks to Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching. It is a scheme launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. The aim of the scheme to improve the quality of higher education by addressing comprehensively all issues related to teachers, teaching, teacher preparation, professional development, curriculum design, designing and developing assessment and evaluation methodology, research in pedagogy, and developing effective pedagogy. Also, I give my thanks to Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, HGDP, Khalsa College, University of Delhi, who organized and created under the Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching of the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. This center empowers through various basic and advanced workshops for teachers in pedagogy and ICT skills. MHRD has also selected as a National Research Center of Chemistry in 2018. Since 2016, it has trained more than 70,000 teachers in the areas of e-learning, blended learning pedagogies, ICT tools, and educational technologies, etc. The core team of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center has expertise of developing more than 50 MOOCs for Swayam platform of the Government of India, and the e-content produced by the Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center has been rated as one of the best in quality at national level. Also, I give my very much thanks to Honorable Kishore Nana Amberde, President of Asti Taluka Shikshan Prasarak Mandals, who gives permission to organize such a FDP, and also I give brief information about the Advocate B.D. Amberde Mahavidyalaya Asti is located in rural area at Asti, Taluka Asti district, Bid, Maharashtra. It is one of the most economically, educationally backward and drought affected regions in Bid district of Marathwada region. Agriculture is the prime occupation of people in the locality. The financial capacity and per capita income of the people is remarkably low. Irregular and less rainfall renders the masses to migrate to sugar factories for sugarcane cutting. The institute offers 18 UG and 6 PG programs, also 5 diploma, 18 add-on and 5 certificate courses in higher education. In higher education, at BA, BCom, BSc, BCA, BHOC, that is Beauty and Wellness, and in PG, Marathi, Hindi, History, and in Science PG, Organic Chemistry, Mathematics, and MSc Computer Science. The institute is certified with ISO 9001-2015 and Green Audit, Energy Audit, Environment and Academic Audit, and Gender Audit, which we get certified every year as a regular activity. In university, academic and administrative audit, we have A grade. I am proud to say that in recent assessment of Cycle 3, we have received A grade with 3.17 CGPA. Our college stands first in the district to have this CGPA. Now I give my very much thanks to Honorable Bakhshi sir, who inaugurate that FDP session and give the information about learner-centric education for 21st century and what is the learner needs. This Bakhshi sir was extremely informative and encouraging. He made we all aware of the new challenges coming our way. He also suggested creative ideas and learner-centric method. New education policy will be implemented anytime. We must keep ourselves ready to accept the challenges. Thank you, sir, for your scholarly talk and inspiration. Then I give thanks to Honorable Vimal Rao ma'am, guest of honor in the inaugural session. Attempts made at Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center are really directive. I appreciate your contribution in e-content development. Thank you, ma'am. As a national education policy is already finalized, we all in the teaching community must adjust ourselves to accept the new policy. I am sure the resource persons will give us all necessary information and guidance regarding NEP. All delegates will get benefited by this FDP. I wish all you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. With this, the inaugural session is over. I express my very sincere thanks to the center, to all authorities, to Honorable Chief Guest, Bakhshi sir, Honorable Guest of Honor, Vimal ma'am, and our Principal, Dr. Nimbore sir. I express my thanks to all the delegates who are present here. You are responding in very good manner. I appreciate your attempts. And now there will be a break just for 10 minutes. But I request and I appeal all the delegates, we should not log out just to take a break only for 10 minutes, because very important session, that is my e-class session, that will be following after 10 minutes. And we will have all types of guidance, all type of guidelines, all instructions regarding the faculty development program coming on our way. So we'll be taking break just for 10 minutes and we'll be assembling just after 10 minutes. Be sure that you are If you are online, it's okay. You need not get log out, but we'll be starting after 10 minutes. And we'll have my e-class session, which is very important session. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.